What's up, everyone? It's Matt with IDP Guys here to give you my top 5 takeaways from this past weekend of NFL football from an IDP perspective. Before we get into those takeaways, be sure to like and subscribe to this channel. We're going to give you excellent content all year. With that being said, let's talk about those 5 things that I saw that you should know. Takeaway number 1 is that the Chargers have a couple of elite pass rushers on their defense. Khalil Mack grabbed 3 sacks. Joey Bosa grabbed 1. Any concern that we had that one was going to eat into the other one's production has kind of been calmed as of this performance. They can both be super productive, and if you have them, be excited and start them whenever you can. Takeaway number 2. Nick Bolton's train is a-going, a choo-choo. He had 10 combined tackles. He played 78% of defensive snaps. He had the green dot. If he continues to see the upwards of nearly 80% of defensive plays played and his ridiculous tackle efficiency, the sky is the limit for him. You drafted him probably as your LB2. He's going to be putting up LB1 production. If for whatever reason he's still on your waiver wire, go and get him. He's going to be a stud this year. Takeaway number 3 out of Arizona. A lot of us were wondering how Isiah Simmons was going to be used on this defense. There's a lot of talk about him moving to more of a safety role for them, and that's sort of what we saw transpire. He played a lot out of the slot. He only got 3 combined tackles the entire game. We saw Zaven Collins sort of take that leap into that linebacker role that we sort of thought he was going to be doing. So Isiah Simmons, we're going to have to fade him until his usage changes, and that's a pretty important thing for those of us who are drafting him as an LB2 this year. Takeaway number 4. Sometimes you just have your guys. For me, that's Quay Walker. He looked really good during the preseason, and what did he do this weekend? He put up 8 combined tackles. We know Devondre Campbell's really the LB1. He had 11 combined tackles. This performance sort of proved both can be relevant linebackers for the Packers this year and not take away enough production from each other to still be relevant. I know he got hurt, so be sure to pay attention to that this week, but Quay Walker is the real deal, and you should be getting him accordingly. And finally, takeaway number 5, the Jaguars' young defense looks really heckin' good. Trayvon Walker played the part of the number 1 overall pick, showing up all across the board on the stat sheet. If you drafted him, you have to love that performance. Devin Lloyd also looked super good in his NFL debut. If you drafted those young Jaguars defenders, you should be starting them because they're going to get a lot of playing time and they look like they are up to the task to be in the NFL. There you have it, my 5 main IDP takeaways from week 1 of this young NFL season. If you like this type of content, head on over to idpguys.org where you can read my weekly IDP rundown article that comes out every Monday that tells you every single thing you need to know that happened from an IDP perspective. Hope you had a great week 1, even if you lost. It was great watching football. With that, I'm going to start preparing for week 2, and I'll see you here in another week. Happy football watching.